Semifinals. Post our semifinals podcast here. Tasia, Rory, Haley, myself. And this episode is brought to you by Inside Tracker. Inside Tracker has helped me optimize my training for a while, but most recently my blood test revealed areas in my day-to-day life that can use improvement. My Inside Tracker results showed low liver enzymes that can easily be fixed by eating more greens and berries and replacing some of red meat with fish. That's what I like about Inside Tracker. It plainly tells you what's going on with your body, then gives you ways to improve it. Do you want to reach all of your strength goals as well as your life goals too? Do you want to feel healthier than you've ever felt before? You need to make a change, and that's what Inside Tracker is all about. Inside Tracker analyzes your blood DNA and recently added the ability to sync with your fitness tracker to create a one-of-a-kind science-backed action plan to help you reach your potential for better than ever performance and a longer, healthier life. For a limited time, Inside Tracker is offering 25% off its Inside Tracker Plan Plus free inner age. Just visit InsideTracker.com/Froning. Start using Inside Tracker today because change is an inside job.
It is. You're like young. What is your your inner age?
18.
Is it so it's younger?
I thought
is
you
yours
said
younger
it was
or older?
older?
I'm 22.
No. What?
Yep, my blood work was awesome.
Good for you. I got
Mine was
devastated.
not awesome again.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
I'm just killing myself slowly.
I had no excuse.
I didn't even look at my inner age this time. I don't want to know.
It was like 60.
You can't, especially in training season for us. It's like I can't look at that anymore.
The picture says it all. Like they've got a picture of a young man looking into a mirror, and there's an old dude looking back at him. Like, got him,
got him. Yeah, I'm dying. Aren't we all though?
Yes.
I'm dying, and it would be good if I actually, I do eat a lot more greens and berries, but a lot of the other stuff I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah,
That's
fish.
just
What are you
because
talking
I
about?
train
Fish?
so hard.
Yeah.
I'll take a slug off of the old Barlean's fish oil every once in a while when I
Yeah.
walk by the fridge. That's about all I do. It's so good. Have you ever had it?
Is it? No.
You never had it?
I can't imagine fish oil tasting good.
Oh my gosh! It's like
Really?
tastes like lemon dream.
Okay, I need to get some.
You need
of
to
that.
try
And that's probably like
Oh,
taking expectations and going down here, right? Like, because with fish oil, like,
No,
how
no,
good
no,
do you have
no,
to be
no.
to be
Do you
good?
get the
No.
fish oil
Good.
burps?
No, not with Barlean's.
Not with that one, but I'm just saying. But like, is it really good, or is it just like in fish oil world?
No, it's you could eat it. My kids could. Every time I
have
take
to
a pull, I
try
give them a
it.
tiny teaspoon of it. They love it.
Because I've done liquid fish oil.
No, get the lemon one. It's like lemon swirl or something.
Okay.
It's amazing.
I used to be able to do like the Nordic Naturals or something.
Yeah.
I used to be able to just slug it out of the thing, but
No, this tastes. There is zero fish taste.
okay.
Wow.
Zero.
How do they do that?
I have no idea with sugar and whatever, but it tastes amazing.
Sign me up.
Well, outer age 20, inner age 18, Haley. It was a big weekend.
Big weekend, Hales.
Yes.
Well, let's start with.
We haven't seen you since, actually. So
I've been hibernating.
Yeah, you have. It was actually refreshing to see. You're
Yeah.
kind of like at the pool party on Sunday, just taking a nap, or Monday.
We were at a pool party on Monday, and she had a jacket on, and she didn't move from the couch outside all day long. Never once in the sun, and never once near the pool. And I don't think I saw you move from that
I
spot,
didn't move
other
from
than
the
when we went to
couch
play wiffle ball.
unless
We
the
came
couch-
back, and there was less people on the couch because she had fallen asleep.
I would get up to eat.
Yeah, Coco was like, I think Haley had 2 cupcakes.
Yeah, I don't really do things in moderation, so I'll have like 2 to 3 days where I just love laying down in my bed. So I'll lay in my bed all day. Like these guys are already working out again. I just need like 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
Lay down all day, eat whatever I want, and then I'm ready to go again.
I love
Oh, I
it.
still eat whatever I want. I just worked out.
Yeah.
You know.
I did not work out.
Yeah, it was refreshing. I
worked out every day.
texted Haley. I was like, "Did you do Murph?" She's like, "No."
No, why would I do that? No,
No.
that's good.
Like today I'm going to try to work out. I'm not going to feel so
Ease
good.
back in.
It's Thursday though. It's a rest day.
No, I have 3 rest days. But that's what I'm saying. I need to like, I like to get the itch back. You know? Like I'm tired of eating bad. I'm ready to start training again.
Good
I
for
mean,
you.
obviously not going to start games training today, but by Monday, like start feeling ready by Monday.
It's good, just in time for us to be trashed by Monday. No
That's
sleep.
what
Oh,
I'm saying.
man.
I'll feel good because I've been rested, and these guys have already been back working out.
It's not that. That's going to make us feel like that on Monday. It's the 24 hours
Oh.
on a mountain bike.
Tell them about it, man. We're trying to get donations. Still.
Yeah. 24-hour mountain bike ride, race, whatever you want to call it. I don't know much of a
That
race.
mustache on your face isn't for
Mustache.
nothing.
No, that's right. Mustache rides. Yes, we know what it means.
Um,
It's like, are you stupid? I'm like, It's part of the joke, people.
Andrea
We're
and
having
Taylor.
mustaches. We're going to ride mountain bikes. I mean,
Yeah, right. It's pretty straightforward. It's for the kids, you know?
It's for the kids. Not really. It's not for the kids.
Oh my god.
It's not for the kids. It's for cancer survivors,
Yep.
actually. So, yep.
We'll put a
24
link.
hours
We'll
in
put a
the
link for the
canyon.
donation thing in somewhere.
Yep. Yeah, we were talking about making some like prop games. Pay attention to my Instagram. We're gonna do some type of prop game where it's like if Brian goes over the hand, we're gonna set it like over under at 6, and if you say he's gonna go under, 4 or 5 times,
Yep.
then you're good. But if you say he went over and he didn't, then you have to pay.
You gotta pony
into the
up.
charity, yeah. So we're gonna try to do some fun stuff like that. We talked about having a number of times that Luke's gonna say "Let's go,"
Let's go.
Let's go.
but we can't tell him that it's gonna be
Yeah.
hard to figure that one out.
Thankfully, he doesn't watch podcasts.
Yeah.
He watches
I
us.
think he does.
Does he? Dang it. All right, well we can't use that one anymore. But I thought that would have been a good one.
Yeah.
a good
Or
one.
stage it. Just say it more and more, Luke.
Yeah.
Raise that money.
Raise that money. But
Let's
yeah,
go, let's
should be a good
go.
time. It's just us 3 on our team, and then the other team is AJ, Brian, Michael, Arthur, who's on our Mayhem mission board, and then David Lane. So
But,
David,
but we do have a de facto 4th as well.
we do have a de facto 4th. So we couldn't find a 4th.
We burned through a couple before
3
they
or
decided
4,
that,
and then
yeah.
I was finally like, screw it. If nobody wants to do this with us, so it's for cancer survivors. My uncle passed away a couple years ago from colon cancer, so our 4th rider will be an honorary. It'll be my Uncle Jay. JJ and Pat's and Adam and Mackenzie's dad. So we're going to do that and his favorite color was pink, so we're going to wear a pink shirt every 4th lap.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Love it.
So I thought that'd be kind of cool.
I did not know that.
You know that.
I better go buy a pink shirt.
No, I got one.
Okay, all right.
With a mustache ride
Oh,
logo on it.
my
Yeah,
man.
like,
All
come
right.
on,
So
man.
prepared.
Have you not seen the shirts?
I've seen
Okay.
the logo, but
No, hold on.
never seen a pink
I'll
shirt with
show
a
you
mustache.
I'll show you the shirts. They're good.
which will be available.
Yeah,
people get 'em.
maybe a more. We talked about just putting CrossFit Mayhem on those
Okay.
with a mustache, because apparently it's derogatory or whatever. But
What, the mustache ride?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
yeah. See, there's the pink version.
Oh,
Oh,
dude, they're
I
great.
love that.
Such a good shirt. And then
It is.
that one's good too.
That's good.
It's a Dallas Mavericks logo with the.
Sometimes I wish we
could.
could like
the hat.
publicize
I
private
know.
text conversations
I
when
know,
we were
right?
talking about should we be.
And then we got that one going too.
Oh, love it,
All
dude.
the
Yeah.
initials and stuff on
That's cool.
All right, let's get into it. Having just been there as a spectator, you two were competing, obviously, but for me, there was this huge amount of import on this
there. Mm-hmm.
in the grand scope of the world with COVID, and then in just sports in general. We were one of the first sports to come back and have one of our major events in person, live.
Yep.
And so I just wonder for you guys if it was as we got to debrief a little bit about this, but maybe
Yeah.
not on the podcast. I don't know. Was it as impactful for you guys? Did it feel big?
Yeah, I
it
thought
did.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me personally, the venue there, it was awesome being in it's not a professional per se. No professional sports teams play there,
Yeah.
but it's a professional venue. I mean, it's Thompson Bowling Arena. The University of Tennessee. There's a ton of history there. A lot of big names have played there, and
Were there in those Tennessee
Pat's-
banners, like the
yeah,
basketball
Pat
team
Summitt
plays
was
there, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is like there's some really incredible athletes that have played there. So to be down there and have that stadium feel, it felt like Madison in the stadium, or a little bit. I don't think you can replace the open air tennis stadium in
Yeah.
California, but it was just cool. It was cool, and it was cool to have fans. And I don't even think they publicized that it was going to be open to the public till probably a little bit late, but there was still a ton of people there
Yeah.
for having within a week all the restrictions lifted, basically. So it was fun just to have that energy from the crowd. I'm a way better competitor than I am in here in the barn, or just with other people. So it was fun. I missed that.
Yeah. How about for you?
Me too. It kind of felt like nothing had changed in a way. Like nothing had happened.
Yeah.
It just felt normal again.
Which it hasn't felt normal in a long time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we hadn't. I mean, compared to the experience we had at the games last year, yeah, it was very different.
Yeah. And then, I mean, how about, like, kind of what, piggybacking off of what Rich said, you were one of 5 women who got to actually compete last year. Lots of people, their season was done, right?
Yeah,
And
rub
so-
it in, Hales.
So, but how was it? Like, Aromas was quiet and it was unique in that sense, but, like, what was it like being back in front of a crowd and, like, feeling that?
Yeah, this experience is just different because, like, after you compete, like, you're separated from your competitors. As from there, we were all stuck together all day, which was different too. And then just having that crowd and, like, getting your name called and just hearing the crowd cheer was totally different, and I definitely missed that.
We talked about this, and I mean, maybe you noticed it, but either of you guys can talk to it. I keep talking about the scene from Gladiator where they're like, if you win the crowd, you win your freedom.
Yeah.
You definitely won the crowd.
Oh, for sure.
Sure.
Hales.
Could you feel that?
I think it was everyone from Mayhem.
There were a lot of people
Yes.
from Mayhem, but no,
There
the
was a
crowd
lot
was
of people
with you.
that wanted. Yep.
Yeah.
Could you feel it? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it had
Well, I
to be
didn't
cool.
really pay attention until people started saying it
Yeah.
or, like, notice or making the comments to me. So then, like, the last day, I kind of listened, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a notable difference, like an audible. You could tell.
Yeah.
It was cool.
When they said your name or
Thought
when
maybe-
you'd come up and pass someone. Like,
Yeah, if you'd
it's
made
really
a
cool.
made a move or something
I was
like
like,
that.
maybe it's my mom. Just so loud.
They were definitely cheering.
Passing out dollars.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think so, my
No?
friend. I think that it was very much in your performance.
Absolutely.
And,
For sure. Performance and just who you are, I think, and
Yes.
how you carry yourself, and I think people like that. You
Yeah.
know, it's different.
Yeah, I made an effort to be nice to everyone that I came into it. Or just, like, taking
The fact that you're a
pictures and just,
child.
like, being
Yeah.
nice. Because
Yeah.
you hear stories of people that have had bad interactions with athletes or whatever. I'm like, I mean, I don't want that around my name. So I made an effort to, like, have a smile on my face. And
yeah, of course.
even when it was hard because it was, like, the end of a day. But
Yeah. Yeah, I even saw the I wasn't there for this, but when you went out to the booth and you were signing T-shirts,
there's so
is that
many people.
pretty overwhelming?
Yeah, my face was hurting.
From all the
Smiling,
smiles?
Yeah. It was
Gotta-
really cool to see
Got to
that,
work
though.
on those smile exercises.
Mm.
Fitness. You're gonna have to just fitness while you're smiling the whole time.
Yeah.
There was a really funny picture of at the very end of the competition when you were just taking person's camera after person's
yeah.
camera doing selfies, and in between you could see Andrea go, just like taking breathers,
Face hurts.
taking breathers in
Yeah,
between
yeah.
Let
smiles.
your face relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, it happens. It happens.
Well, okay, so as athletes from both of you, I'd love to hear, like, before we kind of go through just maybe specifics, are there moments from any point in the day, any time, don't you have to be on the competition floor, like what was the highest high, like what really stands out?
I got a sword.
Ooh,
Yes.
yeah.
That was cool.
That was by far the coolest thing I've ever gotten in any competition, by far.
Where is it?
Dad's working on either we're gonna put it above the door somehow, some way
That's cool.
that Trice can't get to it. You know?
That's
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah. 'Cause that thing's it's a real sword. It's not like
Yeah.
a plastic. Like it's a metal, huge sword.
Love it.
And it's
How
awesome.
funny.
It's so
Love it.
awesome. It's like I said, by far the coolest thing.
Do you watch Forged in
Wonderful.
Fire?
No,
Oh, man, the kids would like it too.
really.
It's like a competition show
Where
for
they make.
working metal,
Oh wow.
and they make weapons.
Oh cool.
Anyways, it made me think of it. What about you?
I think the snatch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it. And
That's-
explain, like, what, for you didn't win the event, so why?
No, I didn't plan on picking a bar back up if I missed it after the first attempt. It's because it was probably too heavy in the first place. But I kind of missed that one, and I was like, I'm just going to go for it again. And it felt so heavy off the floor. And I don't know how the heck I got under that and then stood it up. But just being able to make it again on the second try, it was so cool.
I watched the slow-mo of that and her like elbows and shoulders, and I'm just like, oh my god.
The way I stood it up, like, was it my back?
I know you're like complete like, oh man,
Hey,
it's
she
so
stood
awesome.
it up. That's all that matters.
Yeah, yeah, it's
That's
so
why it's like-
awesome.
It almost could have been one of those where you just, like, pick it up and just, like,
Man.
snatch pull it.
Yeah.
It felt that heavy the second time.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I got under it.
In
It
the
didn't-
moment, it didn't look like
It
it looked
didn't.
great. It looked
Yeah.
fine. Like I was like,
Felt
heck yeah.
heavy.
But then I watched the slow mo. I was like, ugh. Which I'm sure you look at any of our slow mos
Sure.
and anything, but you're just like, oh gosh,
Yeah,
is she
I
okay?
know.
Like
Yeah.
elbows okay? Shoulder okay? What's
all
And
good.
you could not have gotten any lower.
No.
Like, you
No,
were
my
sitting on the
ankle was
ground.
hurting the next day. I guess
Really?
from like it
Yeah.
pushing it so far
Uh,
down. Like,
Welcome to
far
old
the-
age. That's the way my knee is. Anytime I have to bottom out on a
Goodness.
squat, it's just like the next day is like,
It
nah,
hurt the
dude.
next day.
We don't have that range of motion anymore, man.
I know, like, and you could tell I don't have the range of motion of my ankles either because they're like my feet are pointed like sideways.
Little duck.
So bad.
Little duck squat.
Yeah.
And that's cool to hear that was kind of like game time, that you were like, I'm only gonna lift it once, but you just got
I don't know. I
hungry.
just did it. I stepped back for a second and then just Went for it.
Crushed it.
Yeah.
Well, Tasia pointed that out too when we were talking yesterday. When you were
Yeah.
like, she didn't panic.
Yeah, that was like my favorite part, just because I watched so many men and women fail their first
Yeah, and they
attempt
just kept their hands on the bar.
and just rip it back
Yeah.
off. But
Yeah, she
you
stopped.
and I looked at the clock, and you had 10 seconds. It was like you picked up the bar, still, right in time, and nailed it. It was really cool just to see your wisdom too that you have as a competitor.
I kept
Confidence.
trying to ask her. I was like, "Be honest. Did you really think I was gonna make that?"
Yes.
And she said yes. And I'm like, "Come
I
on."
am
I think
honest.
earlier in the day you
Come
said she was
on.
going to hit 183. but
I
we didn't have
predicted
any.
183, but there weren't change plates.
No, when I went for the second attempt though, like
It honestly happened so fast. I was just like, heck yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
I did
full
not
on.
think I
like-
was gonna make it.
Well, so you put 2.5s on. We were kind of standing in the tunnel. I was standing on top of a chair, so I could see. And Andrea's like, she's 280, and I was like, she's gonna go 285 after the last
180.
one. She was like, or 180, sorry, 180, and I was like, she's gonna go 185, and she reaches for. I think you went for the 2.5s
Yeah.
at first, and then went back for the 5s, and I was like, yes. And Andrea was like, I don't know, and I was like, she's got this. And then
Yeah.
you missed that first one. I was like, okay. But then I saw you step back, like with purpose, and not just like, oh, maybe I should go for this. Like it looked like, all right, I got this, and there was some confidence in that, which was
Yeah.
pretty cool to see.
I think just watching you in training snatch up to 175 easy over and over and over again, it was worth the risk of going a little bit
Yeah.
higher.
Yeah.
So
And 175 did feel like good. I just
It looks
wanted to
good.
do 180 because I wanted to like make sure I hit
Yeah.
it. But
man.
And that's like my favorite Haley moments too. Is like when you just like you got a great poker face. When you lose it and you're just bouncing up and down and smiling, like
loved
you
it.
put foundation. I was like, yes.
It's
like
funny,
when
like
she
everyone-
qualified last year. She
Yes.
was like jumping up and
Yeah.
down.
everyone has like their own thing, like a flex or something. I literally could
look-
care
you
less
look
about
like
what anyone else
you look like
thought. I just looked at Tasia.
You look like an
I didn't-
8-year-old.
I didn't
Yeah.
care about anyone else.
You just got the
looked
you got
at
the donkey
Tasia.
kick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man.
It was awesome. That was cool.
That's awesome. All right, so and then I would love to hear from your point of view as well. Like it from an outsider looking in, Tasia said it to me before the competition, and I like immediately kind of internalized it. But she's like, man, she looks more confident than I've ever seen her.
Mhm.
Fair to say?
Absolutely.
Is that an accurate representation of how you were actually feeling, like inside?
Yeah. I mean, the first day I was a little bit more nervous just because, like, I mean, nothing's guaranteed, so you don't want to, like, bomb an event because there's only 6 events and, game spots on the line. So I was a little bit nervous. Actually, I'd say more nervous than I've ever been. Just because when I competed at regionals before, I wasn't, like, trying to make the games because I was already made the games as a teenager. So I never had felt that, like, pressure of, this is your one chance. So I was really nervous that first day. But then after, like, I was okay and placed well, then I felt better.
Yeah.
I
You
felt
get
confident.
Get an event or two out of the way, and it kind
Yeah.
of calms the nerves, and it's like, all right, this
Yeah.
is what I normally do.
Yeah.
And
But even like day before, right?
Yeah, you texted me. He texted me. He was like, "How's Haley doing?" And I'm like, "I've never seen her this confident and calm and cool and collected," which was cool to see.
Is any of that from like last year? A lot of the narrative in like interviews and stuff, you're like, well, I felt like I had something to prove because people were like, oh, maybe it was a fluke, maybe I didn't deserve to be here, and then this year was validation. Is that
I'd say that's accurate.
yeah? And then confidence, like imagine I don't know how much of that comes from just like what you guys do here on a daily basis. Like you do the same thing, right?
yeah, we do harder workouts usually here
Yeah.
than anywhere else in competition. I mean, and I repeated it over the weekend. There's something to be said about intensity. Like you can't replace the intensity of competing out there. But I feel like if there's one place that has a second to the competition floor, I think it's here between us. Where there's
sure.
always some type of competition going on.
Yeah.
Even if we know that, hey, I'm better at a workout or she's better at a workout, you still want to like put that pressure on that
Totally.
person. So, you can't replace the competition stress and the intensity, but I think we do a decent job of that. And there's days where it's like, hey, I'm not gonna give you that push because I don't have it.
Right.
that
Like when I
won't-
say I was so tired after the comp, it wasn't actually from the workouts. Like, it wasn't that sore.
It's
It's just
emotion.
exhausting from like an
Yep.
adrenaline dump and just
Up,
being so
down,
hyped up
up,
and being on
down.
your A game, like in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Just like
Well,
that
we-
was
We
exhausting.
both talked about it, especially on Friday. I had the biggest
my
headache.
head hurt too.
And I don't know if it was the music / getting hyped up for the lift / shutting down for 25 minutes before you go back out for a lift, and just being, that's the first event, trying to like
Slash choking yourself out with a barbell.
Slash, I think I almost blacked out.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe giving myself a concussion somehow.
Goodness.
A little water hammer concussion, but I had I was after Friday just really bad headache and just needed to go lay down.
My head hurt too.
Yeah. So,
It's overwhelming.
yeah.
Like
It's a lot. It's
it's
a lot of
not a
emotion.
joke. Like just the picture taking alone.
Yeah.
It's a
Just
lot.
the interactions alone, much less like the intensity of like being shoulder to shoulder with people for the first time.
Yeah.
It is a lot. Let's talk about that lift real quick.
Yep.
We haven't podcasted about it yet.
I know. Yeah, so I honestly, I hit 325 in here a couple days before, or 330, I can't remember, and kind of planned that was going to be my opener. So I ended up hitting that. That was fine. Thought I was going to go to 350 because it felt really easy and really light. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go to 355. Thought I loaded 355, but turns out I'm an idiot and only loaded 345. I mean, part of that has to do with I just haven't hit that weight in a long time, so I haven't seen those plates or used those plates in that combination. And so, honestly, until we finished and came back and talked to the judge, I thought I'd hit 355 like a moron. And so I jumped from 345 to 370, which is a number I've not hit in years. I think
I like that jump.
5 or 6
crazy.
years.
It's literally psychotic.
aggressive.
And so I'm like, man, if I would have went 355, I think I could have hit the 370 just because it wouldn't have been such a jar. But
Yeah.
I hit that 370. Stood it up. It took me a little bit while to stand it up, but then I've got this neck thing going on, and I'm just trying to figure out where the bar goes on there, and I just got it too far into that artery, I think, there, and just shut her down.
Because if you can clean it, you can jerk
Yeah,
it.
my
So when you
jerk
stood
is
up, I was
usually
like-
it's almost guaranteed, but the fact that everything was going whoop, I was like, all right, we're going to drop this here. So it was super frustrating, and I think part of that might have been, I'm trying to overreach a little bit to make up for, Chase's lift. And, I mean, he did great and did exactly what he needed to, but as far as other men go, and then you're looking out there and some of these guys are snatching, like, team guys, as far as one rep maxes, were incredible. And
They
how
really
heavy,
were.
But then they couldn't handle a 205 barbell. You're like, what is going on here? And Chase is a super fit dude. He's just, his one rep maxes aren't there. And so, especially when he missed that 215, it was just like, whoa.
Can you imagine the stress
I was
from
like,
him?
so much hype. And then I'm like, okay, we're dead. We're dead. I'm going to have to clean and jerk 450 here. So I'm like, I looked at him. I was like, you all right? He's like, yeah, I'm good. I said, do you want to go up or should you stay there? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, where did you miss it?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, just stay at 215. So
You said he just got a little too amped, huh?
yeah, he got too amped.
Yeah.
Pulled it through the roof instead of. I was like, if you pull it that high, just power snatch it.
Yeah.
So he. Yep. It is what it is. So it's just something we're gonna have to. Anything else, all weekend he crushed. It's just the one rep max stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Honestly, I'm really impressed with just imagining the pressure of him being
Yeah.
first time out with Mayhem Freedom and the first event being a lift that he is not really comfortable with as weight. So I think he did great.
He did great. He did great. But it was just like there was so much, like we're talking about the energy of the crowd, and you're just ready to go, and you have to you get up, you get down, and then there's 20 minutes, and I have to wait for his 6 minutes or whatever it was, and then. Ready to go, 3, 2, 1, and he just steps right to it and misses it. And you're just
You're
like,
no.
Yeah.
Music just scratches and
That's what I was
stops.
joking. I was like,
Yeah.
it's like Ferris Bueller's Day Out, where it's like, whoom, life comes at you fast.
Yeah.
Like everybody, the noise stops and everything
Totally.
freezes except for you. I'm like, okay, he just missed that lift. What happened?
My legs were shaking on the platform when I was starting.
Really?
On my first set. My legs
Yeah.
were shaking
Yes.
as I was going down.
There's so much energy, and you're so amped,
I
and
was so
you're
scared.
Yeah.
you know how much effort you have to put into this barbell because you've been standing. And that's something off topic, but on topic. Like, we've got to figure that out as far as athlete safety goes. A snatch is one thing, and it's, if you're going for a one rep max after being corralled that long and you only have 3 attempts, it's not safe.
Yeah.
And then a clean and jerk, which is more weight, and harder on the body, it's not safe.
Yeah.
We were corralled for, I want to say 15 to 20 minutes.
Long time.
And then you had to walk out there, and then you had the transition of Chase, and they're adamant, don't pick up the barbell. You can't,
Which is kind of weird to me since you're loading the plates and stuff.
and if you want to showcase the athletes, whatever. So I in that event, in those those circumstances and stuff, I think it would have been cooler to 6 minutes. You got 6 minutes to work to a max, and it would have been better. But
Yeah, you could have just snuck off in the warm-up area when you're crowd.
well, we did try to do that, but
So
you're already
some people
like
got away with it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like even have a couple barbells close to the
Yeah. There
the
has to
crowd.
be a better way, especially because you want to see people do something big and
yeah,
awesome,
right.
you know?
If we're supposed to be the the show,
Yeah.
let us be the show, and that's another instance for a later on event there as well too. So it's like when the judge or when the event takes precedent over the athlete, then we're having a problem here.
For
so,
sure.
But that's just me being a complainer. But it comes down to safety though.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's more of a safety issue than it is like a placement issue.
Yeah.
I think.
Is it fair to say this is a hard change of topics?
Go for it.
For both of you, I'm just interested in the kind of the mental framework. Like going into the weekend, like is there ever a concern that you wouldn't qualify, or was it just like how well can I showcase my skills?
I mean, I don't think anything's ever guaranteed.
Sure.
I mean, like you could go out an event and get a bunch of no reps and just get a really bad placement you don't know, or just blow up in a workout. So I mean, and there's not that many events like there are at the games. So I mean, it was a little scary, because I don't know. I mean, there's a lot on the line.
I think with this system and as early as it is right now, for us as a team, and I even think as her as an individual, as an individual, it wasn't if she was going to qualify or if we were going to qualify. There was only probably 6 or 7 teams that were that good to be in the top 5, and then with them there was probably 7, 8 individuals that could take those 5 spots, and she's well in that. But for us, it was, hey, you have to win. Like, you're supposed to win. We're, the fittest team out there. Like, we should win.
Yeah.
And then when you bomb an event or don't do as well on an event, miss a lift like I did, then you're like, crap. Are there enough points for us to get back? And are there enough teams to get in and start to, like, are these other teams pretty well paired to where, a team will get 5th on an event and 2nd and 3rd and 4th or whatever, or are they always going to get 2nd? So if they always get 2nd, there's not enough points for us to come
make up
back.
that ground.
And so that's the tough part. Hey, Ryder, put that back, please. Yeah, put that back.
Busted.
And so you're starting to play these little head games, like, frustration. You're like, man, we could literally win every event, but we had one bad event like we did in London, where we got, mid-pack on a run, won every single event, and we won them handily, and still could be second place.
Yeah.
And back then it was, if you got second, you weren't qualifying.
Totally.
That's right.
Now it's like top 5. It was pretty comfortable that we would make top 5.
Yeah.
But you start playing those games, and especially with us, I feel like there's that you're supposed to win. And with her, I mean, Tia is Tia, but Haley, other than Tia, is hands down the fittest one out there, I think, and believe that. And so for her, beating those other girls was without a shadow of a doubt for me. It was how much can she kind of just at least make Tia uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think she did that.
I think, too, like, you guys at the games, that's a benefit for you because there's more people to go in between, like, all the people that are there, if that makes sense, to, like, create separation.
Well, and lucky for us, too, there. I mean, those 4 or 5 teams are really fit, and they're all pretty well matched, so they did get in there and start. There was Lone Star was incredible on track, so they were really good teams, and they got in there and kind of mixed it up.
Yeah, and a lot of people made the comment of like, oh, well, if Tia wasn't there, like, you would have won. Like, how's that? I'm actually really glad that I got to go against her because it gave me more confidence, like, going in to Madison and be like, I mean, you can kind of keep up on some things, like, so not to completely count myself out or.
Absolutely.
I think it was
You guys
great
were
practice run.
Yes.
largely you two were on an island.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Especially for me, that Inception workout was like.
Which one was that?
It was the muscle ups running and
Oh, yeah.
Wall ball.
Yeah.
and wall ball.
That was fun.
Tell me about that from where you're sitting.
Let's see.
You're confident going in. There are
Yeah, I
good
was
movements for
confident
you.
going in. Around the second set of the 450, she started to pull away a little bit, and we were already like a full round of the person behind me. So I was like, I'm just gonna. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to catch her, so I was like, I'm just gonna slow down. That's not the best approach, but also we still had a full day of comp, so I was like,
We talked
let's
about
not-
that
yeah,
before.
let's
we were
not
like, hey, if you
red
can't
line,
get
yeah.
to her, don't bury yourself. I mean, stay there, make her
Yeah.
uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but don't.
And
if
she
you're
was
not gonna
pulling away, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna slow down a little bit. I was still trying, trust me, but yeah, I just kind of slowed down to where I wasn't really redlining, and
Yeah.
it still was.
Well,
like,
that's when
a
you
great
start
finish,
playing
so,
the long
yeah.
game versus
Yeah.
individual events. I think so many people get so caught up and so emotional in each event or in a single event that they can bury themselves and push too hard. Where it's like, I mean, if I'm
There's no
handily in
point.
second place
Yeah.
and I can't catch her, yeah, I'm going to give you all I got still, but I've still, like, it's a long weekend, and
Yeah.
that's where I
Yeah.
think people don't, if you don't have the, you know, the experience of that and knowing that it's a long weekend, or you know there's 6-7 events, then
Yeah,
Right.
I guess I'm even looking at it a different way to say, like, when I saw that workout before the weekend, I was like, I don't know if the women will finish this.
I know, yeah.
And
Rory
if they
Rory
can,
texts me
if they
He's
can, there's 2 of them that can do it, and the fact that it plays out that way is indicative to me, like, whether you pulled back or not, that's a crucible type workout, and you're one of 2 people in the building who can actually finish it, much less like push the person next to you. Like,
I guess I just didn't like think much about it, because I mean we'll do like 60 muscle-ups here because
Yeah.
he doesn't let us scale. But so I'm like, oh, 54 muscle-ups, like that's not a.
What did
I mean,
they?
it's a
Did
lot.
there a different
No.
number of muscle ups?
No.
I didn't think so. I thought it was the exact
But
same.
so,
as,
but when I think of
Just
50,
kidding.
I think it was 54 muscle-ups. I'm like, okay, like that's not like a scary big number to me. Like there's been
2
so
on
many
the minute,
days that
you
we've
know?
done that.
for 27 minutes, only 2 on the minute, you're good to go. We do
But
that
so,
all the time,
like,
all
that
day long.
wasn't the issue. It was like, okay, just get it done, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, I felt like for me that was like a kind of a turning point in the weekend of like how people were like looking at you and seeing like, wow, Haley's here to like crush it. Like she is no joke. She's on fire. She's been working and pushing Tia, and like that was really cool. Just seeing after that event, all the cheers and the people just seeing you was really cool.
Yeah, like when I had started to slow down and kind of like gained back my, I don't know, but I was running, I was looking up at the crowd, I was like, wow, that's a lot of people there, and they were just like cheering, and yeah, it was cool.
That was a great, great moment. One of my favorites. And day 2 for you guys was when you really
Yeah.
kind of started to put drop the hammer.
Well, I knew once we got to the actual fitness stuff, and not to say that lifting's not fitness, but it's a little bit more specialized. But when we get to the CrossFit, you know, and team stuff, and especially the worm, and just our experience with the worm. I mean, but even Chase, you know, everybody talked about how Chase, you know, this was his first, you know, real competitive. But he's been to how many sanctionals? He was at regionals, so he's a competitor. You know, grew up motocross and stuff like that. So just the teamwork side of it. When I knew when we got to the actual CrossFit stuff, because Chase is, when it comes to CrossFit and actually anything that doesn't have a 1 rep max, Chase is incredibly fit. So I had no doubt about that. You know, a couple of the times when we did relays, the girls were like, I think you should go last. I'm like, let me go first with the guys. Let's get Chase a lead, because I knew how fit our girls are. I'm, you know, fairly confident in my fitness that we would give him a little bit of a lead so he would take some pressure off, you know, just to get him some experience at a high level. And he crushed it. Just, you know, teed it up and crushed it with that 205 barbell, and then also with the 100-pound dumbbell. So I think, like I said, it was more of a confidence building thing for Chase than it was anything else. But, yeah, once we got into, like I said, the actual CrossFit, that's when we shine.
Yeah. Is it just as fun?
Yeah, heck yeah, it's just as fun.
just
Everybody's
went-
like, it's no fun watching you guys kill it or, you know, smash everybody. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it is.
It's fun for us.
Like, it's a whole lot less stressful, you know. It's, you know, we're still out there. And you don't really I mean, you can kind of tell where people are once you get moving, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
He would have won the individual one too.
I don't know about that.
Yes, he would
I
have.
don't know about that, but
Yes, he would have.
You don't think so?
Yes,
you're being
he
honest,
would-
I don't know. I don't know.
Yes.
They were pretty rich Froning
They were
workouts,
pretty.
man.
I mean,
Yeah.
other than the run one,
Yeah.
I think I'd have been all right.
You're
no,
a
I
great
think he would have been
runner.
fun.
Yeah.
I've gotten
There
better
were
at
people
running.
like their feet were barely moving,
Yeah.
like shuffling in the last heat.
If you added a legless rope climb per round to that last one, I would have done well in the last one.
Even without it.
I don't know. We'll see. It doesn't matter. Who cares? I'm not an individual.
just
Castro
thought
was
that
in
was
there trying to
interesting.
like,
Was he trying to give you a little poke?
Yeah. Well, about doing
Masters.
masters, and I was like, bro, and it's not the masters thing, like it's the individual thing.
Yeah.
I have zero desire to ever do that again.
Yeah.
I just don't. I ain't about that life, you know.
Same
And,
opposite.
Not that this would be a motivating factor per se, but the prize money was announced today. Did you see that?
Oh, was it?
Over $300,000 for first place.
Nice. There we go.
Individual.
I think it was like 310.
310.
What was second? It was 100.
120.
Nice.
120. Nice. Let's go with that.
The team's
Oh.
like 25,000 or something.
100,000.
Oh, nice. All right.
Nice.
Is that how much it was before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's substantial, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they extended the prize purses as well. Give credit where credit's due to masters and also to adaptive athletes.
Oh,
Cool.
cool.
That was cool.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Awesome.
On the
Their shorts suck.
Hey, while I got you,
Like that's so
I'm
random.
gonna go ahead and say it. They're awful.
thanks for the prize
I
money.
got to try them on. I was like, sorry guys, the shirts are great. Shorts suck.
I was so tired I didn't even try them on. I just guessed my sizes. So sorry, you're gonna have to listen to me complain
Well,
in Madison
it's
when I
gonna,
have the wrong size.
it's gonna look like I'm wearing compression
They can
shorts
pull
in
'em in.
Madison.
Oh,
so.
really?
When I have the wrong size, you're the one I'm gonna complain to.
Perfect. I'm
And
ready.
that was the one option. You just got the one option. Like
It was the
wearing
one
these?
option. This was it, and it was a medium, and the waist is about 2 inches too big, and the quads are about 2 inches too small.
Maybe
And then
that's the look.
They're like,
the
here, try
aesthetic.
Yeah,
an,
that's
try an,
good.
I'm like, try an a large, and I look like, Tim Allen in the Santa Claus with the. I'm like,
Oh,
on, guys.
gosh.
So, yeah.
So funny.
So I'll just be wearing my compression shorts out there.
That's gonna be odd. That's what you get for getting for having powerful thighs,
I
man.
know, right?
You know.
We have to
It's your
go on
fault.
Gonna go on a no squat diet until the games.
Actually, I think I told him a large for the shirt, but now I'm just remembering that I'm not gonna be able to cut it out there. That's good.
It's going to all be okay.
We'll figure it out.
Yes.
Figure it out. But yeah, look good, play good. The final day. What'd you highlight on the final day?
The final day. I'm trying to remember what the final day
Well, how
was
about
already.
Lunge race was there.
Oh, Haley lunge race. Gosh.
She still hadn't stepped
everything
over that
went-
bar.
I know. Her just going flat lay down after.
I was so embarrassed.
I was like, I don't know if she needs to get over the bar or not.
Somebody was like, I don't even think her time still can. I'm like, she got to the finish match.
Yeah, they're like,
Shut
no,
I
up.
was so embarrassed and just like
Tia
laid there.
fell over too. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Everyone was falling.
Should have been called trip hazard.
Honestly, I love it because it's just you. Like the grit, like you're just going to go through and finish it. Even if the bar's jumping up to your face, you're going to try
Well,
to get
like,
over it.
It shouldn't have been. I mean, it still would have been close, but like everything before that
Sure.
wouldn't have happened. I would have gotten second like comfortably, but
Things
fine.
happen.
Totally.
Yeah. Actually,
What
my
happened?
ankle. I did get like a
Just
few
kidding.
no reps,
I'm just kidding.
and then I had to walk back on my lunge for, I guess, my own fault. But
My heart
That was
was
brutal.
racing. I was standing. I was nervous.
As a
Gosh.
fan, it's everything you ever want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was the moment during the weekend where I was like, the magic's right there, man.
and
You
during
know?
the briefing, the ironic thing was someone had asked a question that they said, "Do both your feet have to be on the finish line or something?" Like, I guess if you're racing, or like, is it just both feet is your time or whatever?
Yeah.
And I was like, why did someone ask that? Like, this shouldn't be that close of a race. And of course, that
Sure
happened
enough.
to me.
It always is.
Yeah, but my ankle was hurting the next day. Oh, let me show you a picture of
There's
how
the-
my ankle
oh, dude.
landed. My bad ankle.
Oh no. There's
I
so
sent it
many
to
good ones of you
AJ.
just like cannonballing on top of the
Hurt.
barbell.
Is there? I haven't seen it. I don't have.
Rogue got a fantastic
Look,
shot.
I mean, I know it's not
favorite.
that bad, but
Ooh,
like
no, that's
for
not
my
good.
ankle, that's
Good
not
Lord.
good. That's my bad
Yeah.
ankle.
Good thing.
Good thing AJ taped it.
I know.
Good thing we drove back 20 minutes for him to
Literally.
put one piece of tape on it. AJ comes
Hey.
back. He goes, I said, how'd it go? He goes, well, I just had to replace the one piece of tape that was barely frayed. And I was like, all right, whatever. If it makes her feel better, then it makes her feel
Well,
better.
good thing we did.
We
Yeah,
needed
it's a confidence
AJ,
thing.
yes.
Look, he saved her ankle. Did you see that?
Saved it.
Literally,
AJ, coach of the weekend.
I just don't know what I was doing. Like, I just jumped up, like, and thought I was gonna make it over the bar.
My goodness.
Thankfully, I didn't land on my ribs or something.
What honestly? What is the? If it's not just like death metal blaring in your head, like what is the mental dialogue?
I don't know. I was just like,
As soon as you got the no
over.
rep, obviously you
on
stress.
which one?
on like when you're starting your lunge and they're like,
well,
no,
I
no,
was
go back.
stressed on the lunge because my back foot slipped. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh no. Because that's why I had to walk back, just because when my back foot slipped, I'm surprised I didn't just fall right there. But I kind of caught myself and like walked a few feet forward. And then he made me like go back. I can't remember. Yeah, it was from the
To
all the way to
start,
the very
yeah,
back way.
yeah.
And then she starts her lunge, and I was like, oh, because I was like I'd say 6 or 7 thrusters ahead of her.
Yeah.
So I'd started my lunge, but then my back foot slipped, and you know why. And then I had to walk back, and then of course she started. I was like, darn it.
And the whole time you're just like, are you just like, hold on, hold
Well,
on,
the
hold
whole
on.
time lunging down, I was like, please don't slip, please don't slip, please don't slip, because that middle part in the yellow looked slippery. I was
Yeah.
like, if my shoes are still wet, like, ugh. But it was okay. It was a good lesson because I need to be more aware
Yeah.
of my surroundings.
So there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
There's only so much you have control of. Was that a highlight? I mean, how would you describe that?
That was fun. I don't think I've actually last year or in 2019, the first event, I had that close for a race, but that was just cool to hear everyone screaming and like you actually know what's going on. Because I mean, I was hurting, but I wasn't like super crazy, so I knew what was going on, and that was just cool to hear like everyone screaming and like cheering, and yeah, that was fun.
That was cool.
Were you out there for that?
I was not for that one.
Okay. Were you watching? Did you get to see it though?
Yeah, I saw it
Yeah.
after. Yeah.
You probably warming up.
No, because we were done.
You guys were
So we
done.
went back and
Oh, yeah.
packed at the house and came back. So
That's
we were,
right.
I was watching on my phone. And so I could, but it was like they didn't show you for a second. And I'm like, she's so far ahead that
should've been
I wasn't really
lunging,
paying
yeah.
attention. And then I'm like, foot race? Why the hell is there a foot race? Like, if there was a workout that I looked at that Haley was going to smash, it was that one.
Yeah.
And so then I'm like, wait a second, what happened? And they didn't really even explain.
Yeah.
And so then I'm
I'm
like,
kind of glad.
and
they
after the
didn't
fact,
show
I'm like, what
me.
happened? And she told me what happened.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad they didn't show it because it would be very obvious. But
You got everybody just wondering now.
Yeah.
okay, I had a little accident. I peed my pants when I do like squatting movements and completely peed my pants on my thrusters. So then
I
started
text her.
my
I
lunge.
text her. I said, "What happened?" She goes, "Well, if I wouldn't have slipped in my piss," and I was like, "All right,
Yeah, so
enough
my-
said.
my
I won't
back-
ask any more questions. Don't want to know."
Back foot,
Yeah.
like it was a lot too. Like my back foot slipped. I should have just like fell over, but I caught myself. But ended up walking like quite a few feet forward, and so then I had to go all the way back.
Yeah.
And that took time. And like I said, I only had like 6, 7 thrusters on her. So at that time, she's like starting her lunge too. By the time I get situated and get back.
The things you would never know. See that? That
Well,
is
I
some
don't know how
behind the
no one
scenes
saw.
gold.
There was like
Insight.
a big puddle on the floor.
I
Like,
never
So
would have.
usually
Sure.
mine is a big puddle of sweat.
Yeah.
Hers is
That
a
was
big
not
puddle of
sweat.
piss.
Like I would have had to been a lot of sweat, and it was just like in one spot.
So strategically, next time maybe you do your thrusters in someone else's lane.
Yeah,
There you go.
we're just like be aware.
Just be
you know?
aware. I love it. And you emotionally were probably just
Man, because I was like, oh,
it
Haley's
was like
got this
the
in the
crowd
bag.
plus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, she's got it in the bag. You were like crushing that final round too, and good to go. And then it turns into a foot race. I'm like,
Yeah, once I was ahead, I was like, okay, you're good. Like you're good. And then, of course,
what was cool that you caught everyone on the bike too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you've
I
improved so
thought-
much
really,
on the
she's
bike.
really good on
Yeah.
the
I
bike.
just
And I mean, like I
I
said,
felt fine.
if there was one
Yeah.
workout to look at, that I was like, well, Paleo crushed
I wasn't
this.
even nervous for that one. That's the funny
I thought
part.
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
would have like biked faster. I always like second guess myself here because I'm like, oh, well, I'm not going very fast, or I just never know like with girls because you guys are all just so good at machines that I just start like
We do have
know,
some good
crawling
machine
along,
girls
so-
around here.
it's cool.
Well-
Like on the skier too. I was like the first one off the
Aren't you
skier.
glad I make you guys do the guys or like a higher conversion rate of the calories
Yeah.
because you guys are so much better on the machines than most others?
Yeah. So then when we actually do have to do
Yeah.
our-
So when you do them, you're like, oh, this is a joke.
yeah, like 15 cows instead of
I
having
make
to
them do like
18.
80% of what we do because it's usually comes out to about the time
Yeah,
of what
Yeah.
it would
it
take.
does.
Because I feel like
I just complain about it.
in most instances, CrossFit hasn't caught up with how fit the girls have gotten
well,
over the
no,
years.
I
Like,
actually think that is a correct conversion for some girls. Like
I still
the
think though,
pace
like,
that some of the girls were biking at, like that would have been like 15 and 20 cows would be
Really?
totally equal. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
well, not our girls either because on the workout that we did that was bike burpee box jump, I
remember.
was just like, holy cow, they're so much faster.
Yeah.
They're biking at the same like calorie per hour that me and Chase are talking sidebar, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've biked at what she just biked at.
Paid to go
maybe
hot.
like 100
Yeah.
more, maybe.
Just slightly over.
Yeah.
So, yeah. it was.
I think that's just here in general. And again, I was talking to Tej about this yesterday. That it's just this kind of like bizarro world here. Like I just don't think you guys just don't recognize how fit each other are.
Right,
so when you go and you're, Angelo was a good
Yeah.
example of that,
Yeah.
right? Like he was like, "Oh, I'm pretty good."
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I
Get
thought that I was
smashed here every day is whatever.
Everybody's beating my tail off when I'm at the barn, but here I am, in contention.
7th, 8th place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it is. We are. I mean,
It's good. It's a good problem to
you
have,
got
right?
the top 1%
Yep.
by far here, and a bunch of really good athletes, and then bringing Sam in as well. Sam's incredibly fit.
Yeah.
You've got. I mean, and Luke. Like, let's not just
Yeah.
Luke has improved a ton since he
Yeah,
got
a
here.
ton.
Like when he showed up, and Brian was like, "I think this guy could." I was like, "Bro, no way." Like we'll
Got
smash him in
better.
the ground for a couple months and see what happens. But to Luke's credit, he does any and everything you tell him to, and always wants more. And you're just like, okay, chill out, bro. Except for the week of competition, then he'll just disappear.
I'm gonna rest.
So, but I mean, he did great too. I mean,
He did great.
To really to look at the evolution of him as an athlete, if you would have said this year he would have got semifinals, I was like, no way, it's not happening.
It was
and then him get in
close,
there,
yeah.
and then he did really well. I mean, he was 21st or something
Yeah.
like that in a really strong
It was
semifinal.
Well, in his first one, really,
his
right?
first,
Like because
it's his first real individual
Yeah.
competition. He did some team stuff
Yeah.
with Think Tank,
It is
but
different, for sure.
waiting, I mean, just the small stuff you guys have mentioned offhand, like waiting in the corrals and
Yeah.
following the rules.
him
and all
being
that.
able to count rounds.
Yep.
Moron.
Can't
Or
laugh that.
or the thing that I said, hey, if you hit 280, go 300. Do not, under any circumstance, hit 295. There's just like a mental thing there,
Yeah.
like hit 300. What does he do?
295. At least he opened up the proper weight
He
because that
did.
was a struggle
He
too.
did.
Yeah, I'm like,
He
okay.
did.
really?
He kept trying to fight with
Yes.
me about going to 275, and I was like, bro, hit something. Well, I know I can hit that. I'm like, and so like 260 or whatever it
Cracks
was. I
me
think
up.
what,
Yeah,
260,
yeah.
265. And then I was like, whatever you do not hit 295.
I'm pretty sure you told him if he opened above 265, he wasn't allowed back.
Yeah. I did. I told him that. So,
Well, at least he was coachable in that sense.
yeah, he did good.
Yeah.
But then there was like on that 10-rounder, he finished and then ran back to the rope. And everybody's like, no. Such a Luke
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So good. So good. So,
All right, closing day of the competition, teams.
yep.
You had a lead, but it wasn't as healthy as
Yeah, it
you
wasn't
probably would have
where
liked
we
it.
wanted it to be, so it was just kind of leave no doubt type thing. Knew we would do well on, what was the first? Oh, no, actually, if we're being 100% transparent, there was two events that I was nervous-ish about, and it was that first one, obviously, with the lift, and then this one with the run on it. And I was like, okay. I'm notably not the best runner. I have improved. But I just don't like it, and then having to do heavy wall balls, you just don't know what's going to happen. But as you kind of what you could see while we were running, and this was very good for just your headspace, is our girls crushing everything, and then other girls struggling to where the guys, it didn't even matter because their guys weren't going to get off the runner because they couldn't go until the girls were finished. So when I saw that, I was like, oh.
We good.
Eased the anxiety a little bit, and then we got a couple no reps on some wall balls, and I was like, all right, Chase, stop, because I'm not doing any extra reps. Figure out what's going on here. Throw it a little higher. Trying to calm him down. He just gets so fired up, and he's just like JoJo, the little circus boy off Tommy Boy. He's like a pretty little pet.
I think my favorite part is when you got off the runner. I don't know if you noticed this. You just stepped on the chalk block and it went everywhere, and then dropped your ball in it, and there's just chalk flying. I'm like, Rich, you're such a jerk. There's like chalk everywhere.
Well, I was trying to get the med ball covered in chalk because I sweat so much. But no, I just wasn't paying attention.
Like it was Arlo in the stands. Me and AJ were like, what is going on?
You wanted to feel more like the barn.
Wanted that gritty feel. Yeah. But then you couldn't see the freaking wall ball target because there's
Yeah, it was so
these
bad.
bright ass lights right on the target. It's plexiglass. So there's this huge glare, and you're like, I'm just throwing this med ball to see where the hell it goes.
Yeah, I was having issues with that too.
And we start getting no reps, and I'm like, okay, Chase, drop it.
Should have worn swim goggles.
Should have worn some goggles. Should have done that. So we got through that event. Was pleased with that. And then I thought, the final, that I knew that worm deadlift was going to be a toss-up. I knew we'd do really well on the muscle-up barbell row thing, but I didn't think we would do that like as well as we did. I was surprised at how many girls couldn't do 15 unbroken muscle-ups, which is a stretch. Like, it's hard. Or even in 2 sets. There was a lot of teams that they broke it up into 3 sets. And so when we got a lead, I knew our girls could do it unbroken and everything else unbroken and are incredible on machines. So I was like, all right, we're good. And then I knew that worm deadlifts, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there, is a stupid movement, especially when they're like, oh, you can't put it on your feet. So I'm supposed to, like, be in a miserably horrible compromised back position
Which
for
is
100
funny.
reps.
It is a strange one.
Because a barbell goes over your feet.
Exactly. Right. And then the whole lock your knees out, but your shoulders are open. Like, what? Like, there's no mechanical advantage gained by, even if there's a tiny, like, people are different heights and, you know, there's not a huge advantage. There's no advantage. It's just, I'm like, all right. And so some judges like to, you know, I knew we were going to have trouble when our judge said, I'm very strict on these. So if you have to point out that you're
like,
strict, that means you got a little bit of a, you know, you want a little power, you know, and so that's not good. And now we got a little feedback in the mic. Hopefully we'll have that up there.
A lot of feedback.
A lot of feedback.
Yeah.
Ben.
Crowd cheering. But yeah, so I knew we were in for a struggle. I didn't know we were in for that much of a struggle. There's nothing more demoralizing than, all right, we're going to sets of 5 because we plan on going 10s. Going to sets of 5 just because we had to. And when you do a set of 5, every time you get 4 reps.
Yeah.
It's like you're expecting 5 reps and you only get 4 each time. There's just something demoralizing about that. And so at one point I looked at Chase and I was like, I need you to stand up because my back is still killing me from that workout.
I bet.
But, hopefully I'm not having the same thing I had last year.
Oh,
but
no.
I don't. It feels different. It just feels
Like, what is he replying that? Is he just crying? Like, I'm
I
trying.
don't know. There's such a good. Did you see the picture?
No.
I need to have Ben. I'll send you the picture because you need to put this on there because the picture. There's so much going on. It's all of us.
Have you mad dogging?
Yeah, it's like it's different than mad dogging. It's like annoyed / it's I don't know.
It's like accepting your fate.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
I'll send it to you. This one. It's just like, yeah. Did you? Nice. So you have to put it on here so people can see it. Yeah. It's like.
That's really exasperating.
And I'm not even looking at the judge at this point. I'm just like, what is going on? Because it was just frustrating, you know, like you see, and everybody now and are like, everybody was, you know, every team was doing something different. And I watched it later, and one of the judges is watching from the front. They're not even watching from the back. And so in the middle of it, I'm like, Chase, let's switch. And maybe she's trying to watch all of us. And if I'm there, like I'm telling you, it was more of a mental thing than anything. And I'm glad it wasn't for a qualifying spot or a position or something like that, you know? So it was frustrating. We were a little upset.
But like I said, like good to get that right.
Yeah.
You know, with a new team, just be like, hey, jumble this up a little bit.
It was a mess, and so luckily it was just kind of like, all right, chill out. Everybody stop for a second. We talked, and nobody got super mad, and you know, kept our cool with the judge, even though there were some times where I feel like it would have been well deserved to have a little meltdown, but we did not.
And you got a sword in return.
I got a sword.
You know, it was well worth it. If we would have thrown a fit, maybe they would have taken it away.
The funny thing
or
is,
put some dull sides
she's
on
in the behind the scenes, and I have the sword, and I just make like a movement or something, and she's like,
Nah.
yeah, I'll show it to you. It's pretty funny.
Goodness.
And
Poor
she, you know,
thing.
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And she said, talked to Chase after, and she said, it's hard judging you guys. There's, you know, a lot of pressure and all that stuff. And I'm kind of like, yes and no. I mean, I feel like if there's, you know, people that are known for not cheating and, you know, trying to move well, it's us. So, but being out there and being a judge is a very hard job. So without them,
I can speak from experience.
Without them,
fairly thankless.
Without them, we couldn't do it. You know,
Of course.
so they're gonna have that every once in a while.
Let's kind of closing thoughts ish. So Hales, was there? I mean, obviously it was a fantastically successful weekend, but are there big takeaways? Like, what did you either learn, or you know, what are you choosing to focus on from that weekend that you'll take into your games training?
I think the biggest thing was that everything that we're doing right now is right, and just keep carrying that momentum and just having confidence.
How's your body feel? Like, we've talked about your ankle a couple times. Like, does everything feel like in order?
Yeah, I'm feel totally fine. Like I said, I was just so exhausted.
Glad you do.
And just, huh?
I said, I'm glad you do.
What?
Feel
good?
in order.
Oh. No, I feel fine. I just really needed some rest and just to calm down and get ready for these next few months and weeks. So.
You got to, I mean, you said it yourself, but, well, you went in the first week. You got to go head-to-head with not just Tia, but, I mean, look, Brooke is a 7-year veteran. There's some women on that field of play who are, like,
There's a lot of women.
very legit.
Yeah.
And so what does that do for your confidence, the result that you got in that atmosphere?
Yeah, going back to the same thing, it just proves what we're doing here is right and that I shouldn't second-guess myself. And,
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. We feeling good. What about you?
First time sword.
First time. I heard that. Tell me more about it. This was the first stress test with a
the
new
team. Yep. Yeah, I think it was good. Learning, how they compete, how the girls compete. I've known Chase for a long time. Never really competed with him, but I know Chase pretty well, and I've seen him compete. So, but to learn the girls, and they don't like to be told they're doing good at any point. They just want you to tell them they suck. So I can't do that.
Punch me in the face.
It's different than me in China.
It's completely different. At times I'm like, hey guys, the girls are starting to get a little anxious. I'm like, hey, we're fizz team out here, we're all right. And they're like looking at me like, you don't say that. We're not worthy. I'm just like, it's all right, we're good. And it was just by the end of the weekend, I think it was, we learned that I don't know. We just do things a little bit different, I think, than what they're used to in the past. And those two are incredibly fit. And we were talking about it, fierce competitors, but the best part is they try to bury each other. Like, at one point, Andrea's like, hey, you don't take it easy on Taylor. She's fine. Even if she acts tired, she's fine. Right. And I'm like,
I love it.
We're ahead of everybody. Chill out. Yeah. We the last round of handstand push-ups, we're almost a round ahead of everybody. And that's the part that was hanging everybody up, too. And we get back to the wall, and we'd been doing 12, 10, 8. And I look at her. I'm like, you want to just do some, 8s or do 10 and some 8s or whatever? She's like, no, 12, 10, 8. I was like,
I loved it, too, on whatever the relay one was. Taylor, she, gets off the burpee box jump overs, goes to the dumbbell, and Andrew's back there like, pick it up! And you're like, she's fine. She's, way ahead.
Pick it up! She's screaming. Yeah, it's so funny watching those two because they're ruthless to each other. Ruthless.
But they got miles together, and that's cool to see out there and then use that.
Yeah, and they trust each other, but it's so different than any dynamic we've ever had. So I'm just like, hey, we like to have fun. We joke around, and they're just look at us like,
you shut your mouth, Froning. Yeah. Take your fun.
The next day, I'm like, man, my legs, my back hurt, and I text the group and said that, and the girls were like, I feel fine. I'm just tired. And I'm like, well, all right.
You guys suck.
Okay, bye.
All right, see ya. But it was fun.
Tasia?
Yes.
You've got a role that you assumed last year, and it's continued to evolve, right?
Yeah.
What are your takeaways?
I mean, I just want to echo what Haley said. Just what Rich and them are doing in the barn is clearly working, and that seeing the confidence grow has been awesome, and just keep the momentum rolling. Yeah.
He can't leave me this year. He's got training.
Yes. She's like, Rich has to train with me in the afternoon this year. She already brought it up.
We just got to get the AC in this back spot.
He just disappeared last year for a month.
The afternoons and the AC.
Yeah.
I don't have to have the mornings and
I was
the
just
AC,
dying.
but in the afternoons I need the AC. In the mornings I can deal with the heat, but I'm getting too old, old bones.
It's coming, bro, but literally, you two are the only allowed in the room.
I know.
Tasia can come too, but that's
Tasia's
it.
allowed, yeah. Me, Haley, and Sam. If Sam makes the games, you have to make the games to be allowed in the back.
Okay.
Fair enough. But if you're whoever has not been on a championship team or been at the CrossFit Games as an individual is the one who has to clean everything up. So Sam has to clean the barbell. Yeah, low man has to clean the barbells.
I like it.
That's funny.
We were talking about the studio, and it's gonna be beautiful and shiny and amazing. And Rich is like, yeah, and then we'll just we'll do some of our training in there too. And I was like,
you're like, no.
Well, Rory was like, hey, we got to get on the same page. Who's allowed in there? And I was like, me and Haley.
I'm coming there in the winter.
I said, me and Haley, and sometimes Tasia, if she's here. And he was like, oh, okay, we're on the same page. Because at first, I think he thought we were like, no, the whole operation of everybody that's in here is going on. I'm like, nah, dude.
There's not enough space.
So
if Haley's not here, then Luke's allowed. I just need somebody in there to work out.
I'll be like, Haley, you showing up today? Haley. I'll just be looking in the windows. Luke will.
We need to have a camera of what's going on inside there
Yes.
so people can see what's going on out here, and then vice versa, so we can just like keep
Yep.
up with where everybody's at. But yeah,
All right. So
All
your
right.
body's hurting a little bit though, huh?
Just
a
my
little bit
back.
of little bit
It's
of
just- it's
recovery.
really
That's
just
why
my
you
back.
rest, and he doesn't take any days off.
I feel worse if I take
Right
days
into
off.
Murph.
Yeah,
I
didn't
love
even-
it.
Murph.
I mean,
Murph.
yes, I'm gonna feel like crap for a few days, but like I
can't
needed
do
to
it.
rest.
I can't do it.
Needed to rest.
I
And
don't.
so
need
I'm
to
gonna be
rest.
ready to
Mentally,
go.
I don't need to rest. I want to.
I'm going
keep
to be
working out.
ready to go.
So will
Yeah.
I. I'll be ready to go. Other than after that mountain bike.
Okay.
Keep working this
They
out.
always,
I like it.
but they're always they always yell.
This
at
is
me,
every
they're like,
day.
Oh, you're doing too much. Like no. But
Well,
I'm like,
no, it's when you want to keep doing more, and I'm like, hey,
But
we
that's
still
that's
have
gonna happen.
we still have 3 months left. Chill out. And you just said it yourself. What did you just say?
What did I just say?
I guess what we're doing in the barn is working.
Yeah, like me doing extra stuff.
No.
You didn't do anything extra.
We don't
did-
let you
We've
do
done all the
extra.
same stuff.
Okay.
I'm really enjoying this. Is like my favorite part of the whole day.
This is
so
what I deal
far.
with every day.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You guys feel like you got it all out?
No.
Okay. More to come.
right.
Congratulations to both of you on a fantastic
Thank
and
you, thank you.
amazing and inspiring
You too,
performance.
coach.
Stop.
Yeah, thank
Stop. Oh,
y'all.
stop. Keep going.
There for a good-
Stop.
You guys are awesome. Superstars.
Superstar. Half star. I'm more of a half star. Peace.
You got the supernova.